Hi Flosstube, it's Lindsay and welcome back to Blushing Pink Stitches for Flosstube number 23. It is December the... Let's have a look in my planner. It's December the 10th and it's been 3 weeks since I filmed my last video, so I've got a lot to catch up with you about today. I want to say welcome back to all my returning viewers, and if you're new here then welcome, and I hope you stick around, that you find something that you like watching. So like I said, it's been 3 weeks since my last video. I try to film every 2 weeks, but the past 3 weeks have just been crazy busy, plus the fact that I was model stitching, so I kind of felt like last weekend I didn't have loads to show anyway, so I left it an extra week, and I feel like today is going to be, there's going to be a lot more content today basically. So yeah, so just point out I had my hair cut a little bit shorter last weekend, so I did want it cut this short the last time that I had my hair done, but I was a bit chicken basically. So yeah, I just went full hog this time, and had a few more highlights in the back, and I really love it. The last time my hair was this sort of length, I think I was about 14. So it's been quite some time. So yeah, I will do a bit of a life update towards the end of the video, I think. So yeah, talk about Bella's birthday and what we've been doing on the lead up to Christmas and how things have been going in our house and those kinds of things. So yeah, I thought we would just jump right into what I have been stitching over the last few weeks. So like I said, I did do a model stitch that went back off to the lady who runs it all last Saturday. So I was really sort of aiming for that sort of date so I could have I could get my own time back basically, and I made a decision that I'm pressing pause on the model stitching for a little while, and all will become apparent as to why later on, but one of the reasons why is that I just want to concentrate on my own stitching for a little while. So I might do the odd small thing for them, but it's going to be sporadic and by no means regular. So yeah, so I sent that back last week, but during the whole of that time that I was model stitching, I was also keeping up on my 100 stitches a day on my stitching shelf. So that's the first whip that I'm going to show you. I'll reach down to my pile of whips. This is living in my a stitching shelf tote bag, and I don't always show this, but this is what it's going to look like when it's finished. This is the super size max colour. This is from Heaven and Earth Designs, and it's artwork by Amy Stewart. I've got a little bit of a cold, so if I sound a little bit weird, that's why. So if I just look on my tablet, recognising face, no. Okay, here we go. So I'm going to put a picture on the screen here of what it looked like the last time that you saw it. It is now currently at 1.96%, so I'm really close to that 2% mark, which I'm super happy about. So there have been some significant things that have come in since the last time you saw it. So this is where we're up to. I'm just working on the second page. You can see that the little balloon / lantern has come in over here. I've still got to do the bit that hangs off of the bottom of it. And then we've got a significant portion of the top of the door that's come in. I made my way all across here, and then I do cross country, but picking a symbol up here, so you can see that a little bit more of the bottom of this door has come in. So I feel like I've made really good progress. It's really starting to come to life. So yeah, that's where we're at with that one. somebody was asking me on my Instagram the other day what sort of, how I pick my next stitch and what sort of style of full coverage that I do. And so I was explaining to her yeah, what sort of thing that I do. And so I thought I'd just mention it again here. I have kind of briefly touched on it before, but I do a variation of the typewriter method, which is something that Sarah from Stitching Mummy came up with. She's got videos about it on her channel that you can go and check out. But basically, what I do is I pick, I personally work page by page. So I pick the topmost, leftmost stitch symbol that is needs to be stitched, and then within that I take that wherever that takes me. Basically, I stitch it wherever it takes me, and I try to keep I try to do the stitches within the page first, but I will venture out and down, and so you can see, like, this is page 1, but you can see the page below it, and I've kind of come across the page 3 here as well. I think page 2 kind of stops somewhere around here. So yeah, that's what I do, and that works really well for me. So yeah, still stitching 100 a day on this one. I mean, I have switched to doing it in the morning, and I'm fine with doing it in the morning actually. So if I'm at work, I'll do it as the first thing that I stitch on when I sit down in the evening. But if I'm off work, then it'll be the first thing that I stitch on in the morning. And I thought I'd mention as well that last time when I did a video, I showed you this big sort of jailer's keyring that I had bought as part of my haul that somebody had recommended when I went to the Essex Needles Stitchy Day in September. I tried that for a little while and I found it a bit too big, plus the fact that there were bits on the ring that the top of the floss drops wouldn't go through, or they would go through it, but it would take a bit of tugging and manoeuvring, and so I didn't really like it. So I found these on Amazon. I can't remember the name of them. Let me see if I can just quickly look them up. These come in different pack sizes. So if I just search a ring in my orders, I should have looked this up before I started filming. Here we go. They are wire keychain. Hold on. Wire keychain, and they're supposed to be for like outdoor hiking or like keeping a tag on your luggage or something like that. These are the 26 centimetre ones, and I bought them in a pack of 20, and they were $5.99 for a pack of 20. So I will leave these linked down below. And what you basically do is you just undo this bit here, undoes like this. I'll just undo it so you can see. And then it kind of goes like that. And then you can put all of your floss drops on and then just do it back up again. So I found this so much easier, and I can put all of my floss drops on. Now I'm doing the max colour, so it's, how many colours is it? 238, although not all of the colours are on here yet. I'm just kind of doing it, yeah, adding to it as I go along, as I need colours and I haven't got them. So yeah, I don't know, I can't, there must be about 150 on here at least, I would have thought. So yeah, I would recommend that if you're doing full coverage projects with a lot of colours, maybe one of those big words one of the rings, a sort of standard ring that floss drops come on, might not do it for you, so this might be an option if you're a floss drop person. Yeah, I thought I'd mention that. I thought that might be useful to some of you. So that's the first one that I worked on. Okay, it's just having a look at. Okay, then I've got a new start to show you. So I showed you But I bought this pattern and the material, I think again in the last video. And Debbie from Creatively Yours is doing a stitch along called the Dark Fairy Tale Stitch Along, Sal. I think that's what it's called. There are various charts like this from Barrett Biggers on Pain Free Crafts, and I've chosen Dark Cinderella, and so I wanted to make a start on this. So I sort of was doing, I did this one day when I was taking a break from my model stitching. So let's look for this one. Here we go. So this is 223,850 stitches in total, and I've stitched 0.24%. Here we go. So I'm not really far, but I only stitched on it for one day, like I said, when I wanted a bit of a break from my model and I was sort of desperate to start this, because it's so beautiful. So this is where we're up to so far. So this is 534 stitches. Yeah, we started in the top left like I normally do, and you can see the start of a flower here, which is really lovely. So yeah, this is a material that I ordered from Pain Free Crafts, and they have the serging service that I talked about before. So they serged it for me. So yeah, really enjoying that one so far. And hoping to get a few more stitches in soon. I'd like to say in December. We'll see how that goes. Okay, let's put that back in here. Okay, the next project, this is Feline Force 2, and the artwork is by Sophie Wilkins. She's a Canadian artist. Somebody asked me about where can I get this chart, and the answer to that is it's not licensed. So I contacted the artist and asked for her permission to chart this. And she gave me permission for my own personal use. So, I mean, you could contact her and ask her and chart it yourself. But yeah, this is how I've got this chart basically. So yeah, I love this one. So again, in the middle of my model stitching, I had a day or a period of time, but I only got about 250 stitches in. So where am I at with this one? So I'm at 1.55%. So this is where we're at. I was just kind of working on filling in blocks and coming round the lips and things like that. So maybe I'll put a picture on the screen here of what it looked like the last time that you saw it. There's not going to be a significant difference, but yeah. So my plan with this one was it's not too far away. So you can see here, I've just done this bit. It's not actually too far away from the leopard. So I wanted to kind of work across and get to a leopard and maybe stitch a bit of the leopard and a bit of the flower. And because I've started in the middle with this one, I can sort of be a bit experimental in terms of where I go. Whereas with my the other two full coverages that I showed you, I started in the top left and I will work across. That's definitely the plan with a stitching shelf, and it's at the moment it's the plan with the other one. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, I'm going to pick this up again in December. This is one that I want to stitch on in December, and we'll see how far we get with that one. But I just absolutely love her artwork. If you follow her on Instagram, she has some beautiful artwork, and she came out with a couple new pieces recently that are just stunning. So yeah, really has opened my eyes up to the world of art. I never really had an appreciation for art before. Well, I say never, I didn't have much of an appreciation, and now I really do. So there's that one. What else did we work on? Let's have a little sip of tea. I need to remember about my tea. Okay, so they're all of the ones from the rest of November. Okay, then I finished my model and I had another new start. So this is the Back to the Flea Market sale that Laurie and I are hosting. It's a stitch along. It started on the 2nd of December. Anybody can join. It doesn't matter if you've already got it as a whip or you've had the pattern in your stash for ages, or you're thinking about getting it. Have a little look at the hashtag on Instagram. The hashtag is backtothefleamarketsal. And yeah, people have been posting their progress so far, which has been really, really lovely to see. Laurie showed hers in her most recent video, which she posted a couple of days ago. So this is what the pattern looks like. Flea Market Flowers by Laurie Holt. So you can get this from Fat Quarter Shop. I bought the PDF. I think you can buy, well, you can definitely buy paper copies in America. I'm not sure about elsewhere. I am stitching this on a piece of 32 count Belfast linen from Swigart. And this is how far I have got. Is it? Yeah. So I completed the first motif basically. Let's see if I can fold it over a little bit better. Here we go. Yeah, so started top left again. And I thought with this one, I wanted to continue stitching on it until I had finished a whole motif. So this is it done. It's really pretty. I love the colours. Hold on a second. I've just realised, can you see that I've missed out a line on the bottom of this circle? Oh dear, it's really funny how you notice these things when you're holding it up to the camera. I put this on Instagram and everything and didn't notice it then. Oh, well, I'll just sort that out the next time I go to it. That's really funny. Anyway, the colours are probably a little bit more muted than the cover photo shows, but actually I quite like that. I think it's really pretty. So yeah, and that's how far I've got with that one. And I just wanted to show, I made special floss drops that are up in my Etsy shop for this one. So you can buy a set of 22 or 24, can't remember which, floss drops that are all different kinds of flowers. So I'll just show you some of them. So you've got blue flowers, and there's a really lovely purple one. There's some peachy and yellow ones. I don't know the names of all of these flowers. I do know these ones. These are tulips. But yeah, all different kinds of flowers. What are some of my other favourite ones? There's a lovely rose there. What else have we got? Sort of buttercuppy flowers in a field. This is another favourite of mine. I think it's just really pretty, and I wanted something to go with my pattern, and so yeah, I created these. So you can buy these in my Etsy shop, only if you're in the UK, unfortunately. I am looking into international shipping, and sort of the ins and outs of that. It would be good to know whether you'd be interested in international shipping, whether if you're in the US or you know any other country, whether international shipping would be something that you'd be interested in. I do definitely want to offer it, but maybe leave me a comment like that down below and just tell me sort of what country you're from, so maybe then I can prioritise offering to certain countries. We'll see how it goes, but yeah, I've really enjoyed that, and I've really enjoyed seeing what everybody else is doing on Instagram. I think in a future video I will probably do sort of like a highlights reel of some of the pictures that people have posted, just so you can see how some people are getting on basically. So that's that one. Two more. Okay, I spun my wheel. I went back to my wheel, which I'll show you on my phone. So I have this app on my phone called Spin the Wheel. And I have 2 different wheels on here, so it's glaring. So these are all of my cross stitch whips, and this is a wheel that has like different prompts on it. So it says things like newest project, smallest project, 2022 start, most neglected, those sorts of things. And I haven't actually spun this one yet, but I spin this when I want to pick a new project, basically. So I spun that, and those of you that, you know, keep an eye on my Instagram stories saw that the other day. And what came up was this one. This is Moth with Moon. I can't remember the name of the Etsy shop that this is from, but I will leave it linked down below as always. I started this, let's have a little look, on the 6th of March this year. So it is quite neglected. Picked it back up again. So this is where we're at with this one. The screen's going to go really weird now because this is black. And the lighting's starting to fade now. So I filled in this here, and then I started on this bit here. I haven't done much on it at all. This is a 16 count black Ada. And I really wasn't liking the way that my stitches were sitting. I was finding it hard to stitch on the black Ada. And I think I've made a decision that I am going to restart this on a different piece of fabric. I'm either going to try stitching it on even weave, because I'm not much of an Ada stitcher now. I like to stitch in hand, and I find a lot of Ada quite stiff to stitch on. And so I have to kind of I find I have to put it in a hoop or a Q-snap for that reason. It's less enjoyable for me to do it that way. But on top of that, like I said, I just don't like the way that my stitches are laying. They kind of look okay here, but they look a little bit messy to me. So I don't want to give up on it completely, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to, in the new year, find some new fabric for it. Whether that be a black even weave, or whether it be maybe a dark green even weave, or something like that anyway. Or if any of you have got any recommendations for companies who dye Ada and it's really soft Ada, then I would love to know what your recommendations are. Because I haven't got anything against stitching on Ada in terms of the way it looks, necessarily. I think I prefer the look of linen and even weave on a bigger project, but it's not to say that I don't want to stitch on Ada at all. I'm just, finding it a bit hard because of the style of stitcher that I am now. So I think this is going to go back into, I'm going to take it off of my whip list. This is going to go back into my to kit pile, and I'm going to find a new piece of fabric for it. I think that's what I'm going to do. So that is that one. Let's get rid of this, because otherwise that will just keep on. Okay. Go back to that. Get rid of that. Okay. And the last project that I've got to show you is also a new start. Well, it's a restart anyway. So most of you will know that at the beginning of the year I was stitching on Festive Bears or Christmas Bears by Our Forest Embroidery. And I stopped stitching on it in the middle of the year at some point because I realised that I'd made quite a few counting errors. And I wasn't happy with the way that I'd cut the fabric. So things weren't lining up properly. And I couldn't figure out why they weren't lining up properly without having to sort of unpick loads of it. Some people made some really good suggestions about sort of changing the pattern and things like that, but I don't feel confident in doing that. So I decided that I'd get a new piece of fabric and I'd start again. So I have, and that is mostly inspired by one of my stitchy friends on Instagram called Jenny. She lives relatively close to me as well, which is really nice. And I believe, if I remember correctly, she posted this as a finish on her Instagram and it looked amazing. It just made me want to pick it up again. So I was like, oh, maybe I need to start that in December. So I did. Now I only started this last night, so it is going to be small progress, but this is where we're up to. Again, I started in the top left hand corner. This, just to let you know that this is on Pattern Keeper. So for those of you that stitch on Pattern Keeper, that not stitch on Pattern Keeper, but that use Pattern Keeper, you can put this pattern in there, which has been really handy. So I just did the first motif, this little star, and I just started on, there's like a row of leaves and lanterns here. So I've just started on that. And it's looking really good. And I've got more than enough room. And of course, this comes down here. So yeah, really happy with how that's going. And the other thing I wanted to show you with that was I made some Christmas floss drops. So this is the design on these ones. So we've got baubles on a tree. These are also up on my Etsy shop, so you can get a pack of 24 of these on a ring. Yeah, these are obviously not 24, I split up a set of them. But yeah, nice little festive design for your festive projects. That might be an option, so I thought I would show you those. But yeah, I'm really glad to have restarted this because I do really love this pattern. It's great on this fabric. This is, I haven't mentioned like any of the fabrics. This is 32 count summer khaki from Zweigart. It's a linen. My full coverages are always on 25 count white even weave. I mentioned about Moth with Moon. I mentioned about Flea Market Flowers. There you go. So I didn't do too badly. Okay, so those are all of my whips. So let's have another bit of tea. Okay, so I have a little bit of haul to show you, a bit of some shop news, and I'll talk about sort of like plans and life afterwards. So haul. First thing I've got to show you is this. Is a pattern called Winter Comes from Heartstring Samplery, and Peakside Needleworks posted on Instagram that this was an upcoming release and would you like to pre-order it. And I've never had a pattern from Heartstring Samplery before. I do like some of them, but I haven't bought any yet. But this one really caught my eye. So you've got a couple of designs in here. You've got this one, which I really liked because of the colour of the fabric and the nice sort of wintry scene. And I like the fact that these are winter rather than Christmas. And then there's also this design over here, and I really liked the words on here. So this says, well actually, is that a portion of that? Maybe it is. Yeah, I think it is actually. So you can stitch the whole thing, or you can stitch just the picture underneath the words. So that's a nice little option. It looks like there are like two different borders because this border's got like snowflakes in it. Maybe this one does as well. Oh yeah, it does. Anyway, so this says, winter comes with frost and snap and gust and snow, with branch and howl and drip and blow, with wool and boot and mitt and mug, with curl and bick and book and hearth and snug, which I just thought was really lovely. So yeah, I got that one. I got a copy of Cross Stitcher magazine. This is the January 2023 edition, because my latest model stitch is in here. So I'm just going to flick to it for you so you can see. Well, not my latest one, the one that I just sent off. yeah, I don't know what issue that's going to be in. I'll flick through it now so I can show you which one it is. Nice dragon in here. Here we go. So they are a set of bookmarks. They're calling them Blooming Beautiful floral bookmarks displaying winter and early spring flowers, including the language of flowers, meaning for each bloom. So yeah, I mean, obviously I didn't fully finish these, but yeah, that's my stitching. So yeah, I bought a copy of that, and it came with a 2023 calendar that has some different designs in it, which is nice. So I've got that. Oh, this was the pack of key rings I got. So there are 20 in here. 20 pack of 25cm wire keychain cables. Yeah, mention those again. Of course, Places were having some Black Friday deals, so I got a few things, two that are not full coverage. Tiny Modernist were having a 20% off sale, so I got Secret Garden. I've had my eye on this pattern for a while. So it says, if you look the right way, you can see that the whole world is a garden, which is a quote from the book. And The Secret Garden is my favourite childhood book, and I really love the original film as well. I've not seen the new one that came out on Netflix, but yeah, and the colour scheme in here, and I really like this frame that they've got as well. So I got that one. Hello from Liz Matthews she was having again, I think it was a 20% off sale in her Etsy shop, so you can buy her PDF patterns from there. And I've had my eye on this one for a while. This is My Home in the Garden. Several ladies were doing a stitch along of this that finished in October. So Brenda from Handwork Maniac, Collette from the Highway Stitcher, and they finished it now and it looks stunning. So yeah, I thought I'd pick that one up. I have a lot of samplers. Well, I really like the colour scheme on this one. It's so bright and cheerful. So yeah, and I think that's my first, in fact I know it's my first Hello from Liz Matthews pattern. Then Unconventional Cross Stitch were having a sale. I've never bought anything from them before, but this was inspired by Kayla from Kayla Tent Stitch, and this is The Beauty Will Save the World, and this is by artwork by Border Adrian. If you go to her channel or her Instagram and have a look at her stitching of this, she's stitched one eye. She's not at 50%, but she's stitched quite a bit of this. It is amazing. The detail is just so good. So if this is the sort of thing where, having looked at this on a website, I wouldn't have been that interested in it, but then when you see things stitched up and you see the detail coming out and the beauty in the pieces, yeah. So I had to get that. The Cross Stitch Studio were also having some sort of, was it 20% off or 30% off? Something like that. So I got this one. This is Christmas Shops. This is a massive piece. So it's 900 by 700. But I love the Victorian vibes of this. It's got a lovely colour palette. And look at all the snow and things. So it's a festive scene, but not like in your traditional sort of festive colours, if you know what I mean. So yeah, got that one. And then of course Heaven and Earth were having their Black Friday sale, so I got two, one of which wasn't in the sale, but I treated myself to it because I had I think some model stitching money. Yeah, I think I had some model stitching money. That one is a Thomas Kincaid pattern. His patterns are never in the sale, they're the exception to the rule. But I've had someone in Darren's group on Facebook, Dizzy Stitches, was posting about this. I mean, I've never seen it before, and I immediately put it on my wish list, and then I was like, I'm just going to treat myself to it. So this is Santa's Workshop by Thomas Kincaid. It's the supersized max colour. Look at that. It's so fun. I love Santa, I love the fire, I love the Christmas tree, I love all of the toys and the elves running around. And look at this fantastic window up here. It's just so lovely. Can you imagine having that on your wall at Christmas time and like talking to, you know, children about, oh, what can you see? And oh, it'd just be amazing. I might finish this when I'm a grandma. Oh, then it'll be of some use. And the other one that I got that was in the sale was another one of Amy Stewart's shelves. So this is my third one now. So this is the Grand Library. And I always buy the supersized max colour ones of the shelves just because I think they're such intricate pieces of art that they need that size and that colour palette. You know, and so if I'm going to stitch something like this, I really want the detail to come out. So yeah, I bought, have I got, no, on my Christmas list is fabric for Once Upon a Fairy Tale. So I'll get fabric for this at some point next year. Yeah, it's just amazing. Look at this chair and the fireplace. I mean, her shelves are just incredible. What I like about this one as well, though, is that the shelves are broken up by the middle motif. And you've got sort of things hanging over. So this sort of waterfall coming down. And what can I say? Books are my thing as well. So yeah, that is everything that I got haul wise. I wanted to talk about a few things that have gone into the shop recently. So I will leave my Etsy shop link down below. Firstly, I have got some new artwork from Louise McNaught that I'm charting at the moment, and I put the first of those up on my Instagram, not my Instagram, my Etsy last week at some point, I think. And this is called Consume. It's a really lovely picture of a frog on a donut. And I'm going to have to get up. Her description of this is brilliant. So, what does she say about it? In nature, animals are brightly coloured as a warning to other animals not to eat them, as they're poisonous. Humans do the opposite and make our poisonous goods, for example sugar, gluten, brightly coloured to attract people to eat them rather than repel. The colours themselves are also artificial, which is bad for us. So it's just a comment on nature versus, you know, human consumption and what we do to our bodies and things like that. The colours in here are so fun. So I know that there are quite a few people that like stitching frogs, so this might be a good idea. But yeah, I just love this. I also did a no background version of it. So I will tell you the stitch count for both of these. So if you wanted to do it with the background, the stitch count is 159,200. And without the background, it is 69,193. So that I think that's definitely an option for this one. This is why I did this one without backgrounds, because although I like the colour of the background, this is probably lends itself better to no backgrounds. So that's that one. And then I launched a new artist on the shop yesterday. So for those of you that follow me on Instagram, you'll have already seen this. But Jerry-Ann Dozemajian, I should have asked her how you say her name, I'm so sorry. She's an American artist, and I've had lovely conversations with her about, you know, this venture that I've gone on, and yeah, and she agreed. She signed up, so I've charted 3 of her pieces so far. This one is called Shadow of a Doubt. So So, you know, a fancy lady that you could stitch. I mean, look at how pretty she is. And this has got a lovely colour palette. This is 500 by 676 and it has 149 colours. So this is slightly more colours than some of my other ones, just because I think it needed it. It needed that extra detail. So that one was that one. And then look at this. This is called Purr. He's 600 by 447. Look at how majestic he is. He's amazing. You could, I suppose, do this on a piece of hand-dyed fabric and just do him. But that background is also incredible. So, yeah, he has 99 colours in him. So he's up on the shop now. And the third one is this one. It's called Walk This Way. Really lovely blue and purple colour palette to it, with the path through the forest and the almost looks like the sun's going down here. It's beautiful. So this is 500 by 751 and this has 99 colours. So yeah, 3 new ones up on the shop, or 4 new ones in total, but 3 new ones from Jerry Ann. I've got a few more of hers to chart, so they'll be going up on the shop shortly. And I do have a couple more artists in the works, so there are lots of exciting things happening when it comes to my Etsy shop. And I do also have something exciting coming up when it comes to cross stitch accessories as well, so when it comes to floss drops and floss cards. So stay tuned for that. If you haven't favorited my Etsy shop yet, you go ahead and do that, because you'll be able to see all of my updates as soon as they go on. Follow me on Instagram, because I do post on Instagram about new things that go up on the shop. So yeah, if you know, in between Flosstube videos, if you follow me in those 2 places, then you'll be able to see what I'm putting up there. I had my first order of a pattern a couple of weeks ago from a lovely lady. So yeah, I'm so appreciative of when anybody supports me in that kind of way. So thank you very much, and yeah, just hoping that you like what I'm putting up. And yeah, if you have any suggestions for anything, just let me know. Plans for coming up, where are we at? I'm just looking at the time at the moment. I have a couple more things that I would like to start in December. So I've got on winter solstice on December the 21st, I'm going to be starting the winter montage from Janet Stever. I'm stitching that along with Sarah from Stitching Mummy, Collette from the Highway Stitcher, Carolyn from Zizek Stitch, Brenda from the Handwork Maniac. There may be some others too, but they're the ones I can think of. I have some snowflake decorations that I sort of small things that I also want to start as well, just because it's nice to have some ornaments on the go. Just close off my tablet so it's not wasting battery. So yeah, I've got a couple new starts. I'm obviously going to finish my Fruits of Plenty this month. I think I'm going to save that for when the Christmas holidays start. I tend to have obviously more time in the holidays, and I'll explain a little bit about that in a second. But yeah, I think I would like to finish that off when I have packed up from work. I think that'd be really nice to spend some time the Christmas holidays finishing that one off. By the way, if you haven't seen Jacob's new 2023 stitch along, you need to go and watch the video. It's amazing. I am going to be buying that one. I'm not going to be stitching it in a year like I did with this one, but it's just so nice. So yeah, it kind of has to be done. That I will buy that out of Christmas money, I think. So yeah. And then I will be back next weekend because I'm going to be doing a 2023 plans video. So I know some people have been asking me about my plans. I've sort of been mulling them over and I think I've got them where I want them to be now. So I will do a video on that next week so you can sort of see what I'm up to in 2023. And then I think early in for my Flosstube anniversary, which will be early in January, I'm going to do a craft room tour, and then I will do a whip parade at some point, probably around New Year, just so that you can see all of my projects and where I'm up to with them right now, which I'm excited about. Love a whip parade. Some people have already started posting them, and yeah, it's really, really exciting. You know, Flosstube is just a fest of stuff at the moment with all of the Flossmas videos and things like that. So it's really lovely to see. So yeah, life update wise, we had Bella's birthday. She had a lovely birthday. We spent some time with family. Had a little party for her, or a little get together, I should say. She had a lovely cake. Let's see if I can get a picture of the cake up. My mum bought her the cake. Here we go. This is what the cake looked like. You can sort of see it there. There we go. And then see a good picture that I can get of her. Yeah, sort of her clapping once she'd blown the candles out. Yeah, she had such a lovely time, bless her. So then we've been doing a couple of festive things. So we had breakfast at a garden centre last weekend, and we went to see the Christmas decorations, and then they also have like a little train out the back. So let's see if I can. This was her on the train. Yeah, she's so cute, bless her. And then we've got some more Christmassy things coming up. She had a Christmas party at like this group that we go to, which was really lovely. Yeah, and then we've got lots of Christmassy things coming up, like I said. So it's going to be a busy month, like it is for everybody. I will be back next week for my planning video. And then it'll probably be my whip parade. It looks like on the 31st of December, that will be the next time that I do like a, I don't know whether to do that as an extra or whether to do like a normal, I might film 2 videos on that day. We'll see how it goes because I'll be off again. Yeah, we'll see how it goes, but I'll be back for my planning video, and then I won't see you before Christmas now. So if you do celebrate Christmas, have a good one. If you're not going to see my planning video, I might just say it all then anyway. But anyway, I'm gonna go. I didn't talk about life. Yeah, part of the reason why I gave up my model stitching as well is because Bella has decided that she stopped having an afternoon nap. So time has become a lot more precious than it was before. You know, I don't get time in the afternoon now to do anything around the house or have a rest or anything like that. So it all has to be either before she wakes up in the morning on my days off, or when she goes to bed of an evening. So yeah, I have less stitching time than I did before now. She also learned how to climb out of her cot last week. So we're having to change her cot into a cot bed and put a stair gate on her door. She's pretty good about being in her room at night, so that when she's climbed out, it's been when she's been put down for a nap during the day, and then hasn't wanted to go basically and just comes out. well, the first time she was having a tantrum and had to be put up there to be calmed down, and then was found at the top of the stairs. Honestly. So yeah, so things have, yeah, my time, I don't know, you just go from having this time and then it's like a switch off. So yeah, I mean, some people have said to me, oh, you know, there is a 2-year sleep regression, so maybe she'll go back to having a nap, but I don't know, we'll have to see. Anyway, I'm going to go because Stefan has been looking after Bella for the entirety of this video, so I'm going to go and relieve him. I want to say have a good couple of weeks, enjoy your stitching, and I will be back next week for my planning video. Bye.